Well, I think it's all about the candy apple today. We're making faux candy apples. If you're interested, I'll be right back. Okay guys, I have been waiting to make the red candy apples. What you're going to need for these particular ones is the resin, and I got this from Hobby Lobby and I used my 40% off coupon. Dollar Tree apples. I bought the real candy apple sticks at the grocery store. You could use a dowel or even skewers, but they're thinner, but you could use them. And to color it, and you can tell how old this is an oil-based, okay? And this is for, you know, when you make real frosting and so forth. Well, I'm going to use the red coloring in this. So I will be back in just a minute with my 2 plastic cups, and we will mix the resin and get started on our candy apples. Okay, I have my bottles out, and there's a part A and a part B, okay? And both of these have to be measured out in the cups they give you, equal amounts. You don't want any more of one than the other, you want them exact. So I'm going to put mine up. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to put mine up to 10, and I think that should be good as far as what you need to cover. Well, maybe I'll go up to 15, because if I have any left, I will just get out a mold of some sort and pour it into the mold. Before I do that, I just wanted to tell you, and I have shown this before in my videos, but I'm going to tell you again. When you're working, I don't care if it's resin or if it's spackle, whatever the case, always have wax paper or parchment paper. Right now I have wax paper, but when I'm done with the resin on the apple, I'm going to want to put it on something. If I put it on there, if I don't put wax paper, well, that's what you're going to have, and that's not the look I'm going for. So I'm going to cover this because I couldn't find any cardboard paper right now on hand. I had one piece, and so I'm just using the top of a tin, which I'm going to make a cake out of for Christmas. But I'm going to cover that. What I like to do is I like to take my boxes that I get things in and just cut them. And as you can see, I've just cut this. And give yourself a big enough square. So whether you do cupcakes or candy apples or whatever. And then you're going to cover this and tape it, and then use the wax side to put your apple on, and it's going to give it that little ridge like candy apples have that I love to eat. And it'll look really pretty. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cover these and I'll be back. Okay, now what I've done is I've gone ahead and made sure these were all nice and clean, no dust, and I put in the little candy apple sticks so they're ready. I stirred my food coloring, the oil food coloring, not water, and I already measured out my part A and B of the resin. So now I'm going to pour both of these into this plastic cup. Okay. And I have gloves on because I don't want to get this on my hands. And any resin that is left on these, I'm just going to go ahead and let it dry. And then put them maybe in the freezer. I'm not sure. I'm going to look up how to get it out of the cups so I can use these cups again. There is a way of doing it. I just don't remember. And I'm trying to get as much as I can because this stuff isn't cheap, you know. You have about 40 minutes. The directions say that you can, you know, work with this. But I would have everything ready. One is the resin, one is the hardener. And I did get a couple of regular molds ready in case I have too much left over because I don't want it to go to waste. And I put a little bit of petroleum jelly in all the molds just to make sure that this comes out easy enough. I've worked with resin before years ago, but it wasn't for this purpose. Okay, so now I have those two, and I'm going to stir it so they all come together and are mixed really well. And I'm going to try to do it as slowly as I can because I don't want any more bubbles than need to be. That is all mixed together. I'm going to add my food coloring, and once I get that all done, then I'll be back. Okay, I think I have the consistency now of the color. Okay. I don't know if you can see that, but I wanted a dark red. So now I'm going to start pouring it over the apples, and how I'm going to do that is I'm going to do it over this cup. So I'm going to take that out. And now it's just a matter of pouring this and making sure it's coated. Can you guys see? Because I can't mess with this once I start. Okay, all right. And then when it goes into the cup, it's no big deal. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm not going to stay on camera because it's just tedious, but I'm going to keep doing this until it's all coated. And then once they're coated, I'll be back. Okay. So I poured everything, and I had a little bit left, so I put a couple in our molds that we did, remember, when I did the fruit molds. So I have a couple of berries and a couple of strawberries in silicone molds. Here's one of the apples that's been poured, and it's on the tin. And then over here are the other two candy apples. So we're going to let those dry, and once they're all dry, I will show you what they look like. Okay guys, here's our candy apples. Look how gorgeous these turned out. And there's the little lip of them. You know how candy apples have that. Let me show you. You know, the bottom part. Those are beautiful. Beautiful addition to Halloween decor or any kind of faux dessert. I absolutely think they turned out beautiful. And here are the strawberries. Remember I poured them and they came right out of the mold perfectly. So there are the strawberries, and look at the raspberries. Beautiful. Really pretty. So I'm very happy. That's just some paint I was using. But these turned out so pretty. I am so happy with the turnout of these with the resin. So I just wanted to show you what they look like completed and on a little tray for Halloween. Guys, remember, the world's a better place because you're in it. Don't ever, ever forget that. Talk to you soon. Bye.